beautiful people of the Instagrams. My name is Jose Trujillo. I'm an artist. I'm the world's greatest living artist, for that matter. And let's freaking do this. I gotta go buy some art supplies, and we'll see. I got a couple of people waiting, sitting on a couple of large commissions. We'll see how that goes. One of the things that I do when people are sitting on a commission is that I put it up for sale anyways. and this is part of my strategy of I do not wait on people. Okay, I don't wait on people. Life taught me in a very difficult way not to wait on people, because every time that you wait on someone to make a decision, you are losing steam and you're losing certainty and all kinds of stuff. So I don't wait on people. If I have a commission, this is something I recently did. Someone wanted a large commission, right? We go for it. And even if they pay me half, they pay me half, and they're like, well, I'm waiting to see, if it's gonna fit in my area, which means that they're thinking about it, right? If I sense that they're thinking about it, I get that commission and I put it up for sale somewhere else, in many other places, and I contact other people who may want to buy it. Why? Because I don't lock it down, because if they're not locked down on me, I'm not locked down on them. This is a very counterintuitive practice for artists out there. I know a lot of artists out there. I know a lot of you out there go and bend backwards for people, and that's great. I think you should do it. The customer is always first. Okay? The customer is not always right, but you have to act as if the customer is always right. Not the customer is not always right. Okay? But you have to act that way. You have to act that way because they are a priority. But this is something that I do that a lot of artists out there, I know they don't do, which is I don't wait on people. Okay? I just don't. If I'm doing a coaching call and someone's sitting on it, they're on the fence with it, if I sense any sort of that thing happening, I go and I automatically sell their spot. I'll sell their spot so that I'm not waiting on them. Because, again, life taught me in a very difficult way that if you wait on people, they hold the power. And if they hold the power, you don't get paid. And so you have to learn how to hold your own power. And so, again, I'll tell you, artists, those of you out there who are selling your goods and services, don't wait on anybody, guys. Do not wait on people. Move on to the next person. This is also a good practice if you are trying to get a gallery show. Don't go and wait on the gallery to see if they say yes or no. Don't wait on it. Go try to get another gallery show. Go to another gallery, and then another, and then another, until you get the gallery show, or 2 or 3 of them stacked. And when the person finally says, you know what, it's a go, you can say, you know what, I ain't got next month or the next month available. I got the 3rd month available. See, you put yourself in a power position simply by creating action. Simply by taking action, you automatically put yourself in a power position. You're no longer waiting on anybody's shit. Right? You're not waiting on anyone. You go and you make it happen. This is something that life taught me to implement, because I was the type of artist who was like, you want this commission? And people were like, yeah, okay, cool. Do half or do full or whatever. But even if they pay you in full, if they're sitting on it and they're like, well, let me see if it fits or not, I move on right away. I move on to the next customer. Because what if they don't like it? What if they want their money back? What if they are upset about something, or they're just not happy with something or whatever? I'm not going to lose because I didn't stack up 2-3 other buyers on top of it. So I'd rather say no to a buyer. I'd rather say, you know what, it's not for you. Someone else bought it before you. Sometimes I get buyers saying, well, why didn't you tell me that? I wanted that painting, or art gallery owners be like, well, we had agreed on January for the exhibit. Why'd you switch it up on me? Because we didn't agree on it. Because you said, let me look into it. Let me think about it. Let me see if I can fit you in. We didn't agree to it. Now, if we had agreed to it, if you would have told me it's locked down, it's locked in, not locked down, it's locked in. We have a gallery show on January or December. I'm not going to move, and I'm not going to go try to get a show for December because it's locked in. But if I sense that you're on the fence, I'm not going to wait for you. There's no way. And so I've gotten people get upset and be like, dude, why'd you switch it up on me? Because you didn't commit to it, son. That's why. You didn't commit to it. So I'm not going to not take care of my family, my studio, my assistants, and myself, okay? My business, because you're indecisive. Pay attention to this one, guys. Those of you out there who are monetizing, you're selling your artwork and you're doing that kind of shit out there, pay attention to this. Don't wait on people, okay? Don't wait on people, because you have to take care of your own self. You got to take care of yourself. You got to take care of your business, of your family, and they're not going to do it for you. They're sure as hell not going to do it for you. They're not going to be like, well, I really need to take care of your family, or I really need to take care of your studio. They're not thinking that way. They're thinking about themselves, and that's why they don't lock in, because they want the way out if they can have one. And so gallery owners will do this. People that buy paintings from you will do this. They're looking for a way out, and it's okay. I understand, right? They don't want to make a mistake, but I don't want to make the mistake of waiting on them. And if the order doesn't go through, or the exhibit doesn't go through, I'm exhibitless, or I'm moneyless, right? They didn't pay me, and now I'm sitting on a piece of art, or I'm sitting on a potential exhibit that who knows when it'll happen. And again, life taught me to be this way. A lot of artists don't have the I don't know, maybe the awareness. I don't know what it is. Maybe the experience. I think it's more of the experience. A lot of artists don't have the experience to be like, they don't have enough experience in their belt to say no to someone, or to say, you know what, you waited too long on this exhibit. I'm going, and I moved on to another gallery. Or I know this painting was for you, I created it for you, but you took too long to pay for it, so I sold it somewhere else, and it's not yours anymore. It was never yours because you never paid for it. You sat too long on it. You were on the fence for too long, and I'm not gonna not take care of my family because you're on the fence. That's not how life works. We need decisions. We need to make decisions so that we can move forward. So, yeah, that's how I start today. I've also talked to a few artists who experience really negative stuff. They're trying to sell a painting, or they're trying to go into a joint venture with another artist, or a business, or whatever, or get a gallery show, and then they're like, oh man, it didn't fall, it didn't fall through, or whatever, it didn't go through, and it fell apart, blew up in my face, and that's why I don't do those things. And I always give the example of, if I was a restaurant owner, I'd rather have more people than tables. Right? I'd rather have more customers than tables. I'd rather turn away customers than not have enough tables to serve them, not have enough staff to take care of them. And so, just to give you an idea how how I look at that. That's pretty much how I look at that deal. I don't want to be in a situation where I don't have control, and now I am under the mercy of an art collector or a gallery. Or this is one of the reasons I went and I became a self-represented artist. I didn't want to be under the mercy of a gallery. I remember when I was exclusive to a gallery, they dictated whether I could sell my work or not, or where I could market my work, and they monopolized the whole situation to the point where I was like, I can't do this shit. I need to be able to take care of myself, because they're not going to take care of me. And so sometimes you got to do those things, Sometimes you have to go and do it yourself. What many of us do is that we wait on people. We're constantly in this waiting game. And that it generates all sorts of problems. All sorts of things, all sorts of problems. Before you know it, someone else is making decisions for you. I don't know if any of you listening to this, or any of you who are going to listen to this later on, have ever experienced anything like that. But every now and then I experience it in my business, where someone's like, well, never mind, or let me sit on that. Let me pray over it, as if, I don't know, God is going to say, yes, you should do that. I get people telling me that all the time. Let me pray on it. Hold on. And every now and then when the decision is a go, they kind of walk away from it, or they're undecisive and that kind of stuff. And so rather than me being upset and being like, oh my God, this didn't go through or whatever, I have 3, 5, 10 other people lined up that I can rely on, right? That I can fall back on, and not feel like I don't like I'm powerless. Because that is it happens very easily. That you become powerless in a way. Because what do you do? What do you do if you talk to a gallery and they said, for, I don't know, next month, March, you're having an exhibit. Oh, okay, cool. And then they're like, well, let me think about it. We'll see. It's like, no, wait a minute. Fuck you. What do you mean we'll see? Is it or is it not? Because we'll see doesn't work for me. Is it or is it not? What are we doing here? Are we going to do it or not? Because if we'll see, then to me, that sounds like no, right? We'll see sounds like someone that is playing around, it's undecisive. So what I do is I'll go talk to 3 other galleries and try to, or 10 other galleries, whatever it takes me, and try to lock down March. And then I'll get from 3 or 10 other galleries, oh, we'll see. But one of those we'll see actually happens. And by the time that other people are like, hey, okay, March is going to happen. No, too late. I already locked March down. It's not happening on March, even if you want to. Because another gallery took me in. So that's pretty much how I do it. Yaya Arts 65 says, how do you decide whether a painting is finished or not? It's not something that you decide necessarily. It's something that you feel. That's practice. Practice will tell you to do that. A painting is never finished, only abandoned. That's what Da Vinci said. And the reason why they say stuff like that, it's because you feel when it's time to move on. It's a feeling you got. So you have to learn how to listen to it. It's sort of like driving stick shift, right? When the next gear goes in. You can't keep pushing the same gear. right? You know when the next gear, you have to listen to the motor. It's the same way when you're painting, you know when to drop it and move on to the next gear. And it's a feeling. It's not a no. It's not a okay, it's finished. No, it's just a feeling. Okay, I need to stop working on this. I need to move on. Many things. It's not a one thing. It's many things. It's the style that you're creating. It's the size. It's the market you're selling it in. What does it mean? It's part of another group. Does it go? Does it need more work? It doesn't. It's part of just knowing your shit, and it's gonna happen over time. You're not gonna figure this out overnight. This is something that you're gonna figure it out over time, and you'll have that feeling. You know, you're gonna start paying attention to. You're gonna start listening to yourself and realize, okay, it's time to let go of this painting. It's time to start a new one, or it's time to, depending on how you paint. Some people like to leave paintings and then come back to them. It doesn't matter how you do it. I almost never do that. I almost never rework paintings. I work wet on wet, or a la prima, as they call it, in one shot, right? The painting is created in one shot, one take. I almost never go back to it. I used to do that a lot, but I almost never do that anymore. It's extremely rare if I do that. Maybe in acrylics, because I like layers in acrylics to dry and then come back. But oils, I definitely don't do that. And it's a feeling. It's a feeling that you got. You're not going to figure this one out overnight. This is practice. What you need to do, rather than focus on that, is create more artwork so that you develop that feeling faster. And the more work you create, the faster you're in tune, and the more you're in tune with your senses as an artist, and the more you're going to realize, oh, okay, it's time to walk away from this painting, or okay, it's time to continue. I should continue. This painting's not finished, or this painting is way finished, and that takes years, guys. It takes time. Then you go through other hurdles. One of the hurdles that I went through in the beginning was the question that you're asking. When do I know it's finished? That was one of the first hoops that I had to jump through. Another hoop that I started jumping through was themes, right? Themes. How do I know, should I paint this theme or that other theme, or the compositions and this and that? I started jumping to those hoops, through those hoops. And one of the major hoops that I had recently jumped through, I just recently jumped through this hoop. It's a major hoop. Was this one's actually more interesting, because this took me about 10 years to jump through this one. Okay? A very difficult hoop is understanding that your shit is good enough. This is a very difficult hoop to jump, because it's not perfectionism. People think it's perfectionism. It looks like perfectionism. It's not. It's not understanding what you need to do. It's about understanding what you need to do. What market you're in, what artist you are, who you are, your identity as an artist, your market, your role, and how do you monetize? If you monetize, how does it work? Putting all of those pieces of the puzzle together, and recognizing that your work, yes, can get better, but it doesn't have to right now. Right now, what it needs to is that it needs to get done, not better, and that it's okay the way that it's done. It's okay. It's good. That's a very difficult, very, very difficult hoop. Most artists suffer from that, and they just can't seem to jump through that one. I'm telling you, it took me 10 years to figure this one out. It took me 10 long ass fucking years to figure this one out, because I was always upset about the way that it came out, or it could get better, the style, this, that, blah, blah, blah. Always kind of having some sort of negative view around that. Even Matisse, as he was very old when he was, he's known for this quote. Henry Matisse, or Henri Matisse. He's famous for this quote. It always bothered me, he said. It always bothered me. My whole life it bothered me that I didn't paint like other artists. What he was talking about is that he didn't like his work. He didn't like the way he painted. It always bothered me that I didn't paint like other artists. He did not like the way that he painted. So his uniqueness bothered him. Isn't that crazy? What makes you unique is the shit that bothers you. And that's what makes you unique is the reason why you shouldn't be bothered, because you're unique. Your creations are unique. Even if you're copying a piece, your creations are still unique because they have your hand. In Spanish, we have there's a saying for artists, especially in Latin America, Mexico. We have this saying that an artist's uniqueness is their hand, their stroke. Their hand, it's called their hand in Spanish. An artist each artist has their own hand, right? Their own style. And that's what it's called, hand, mano. And so that's what makes you unique, but most artists are bothered by that. They want to paint like someone else. Artists that see me and that like my work, they're probably thinking, how can I paint like him? But what they don't know, okay, is that I actually don't really like the way I paint. I don't really like it that much, and that's due to a personal bias we got against ourselves. Everybody has that. If you don't have it, you haven't painted enough. Because I know some artists out there telling me, I don't have that. Yeah, that's because you only made 5 fucking paintings your entire life. How about try making 5,000? See if you don't develop that. You develop a personal bias because you have so much memory and so much history with yourself. It's sort of like dating someone. You know, when you're first dating someone, you say, we never fight. People say that all the time. You know, you're first dating someone or you first married someone and you haven't been with them for a long time. Maybe you only know them for 1, 2, or 3 years. You don't really know them that well yet. And people say shit like, we never argue. Well, no shit. You have no fucking history with each other. Of course you never argue. You're never challenging each other because there is no history. Now, when you've spent enough time with someone, if you're not arguing, it means you're not challenging yourself. You're being passive, or someone's being passive there. And eventually someone's gonna pop. Right? You need arguments. You need adjustment. You need those things. Those are part of any relationship, whether it's a romantic or you know, siblings or parents or whatever. You need that. Relationships need to adjust. Because adjustment means challenging. You're challenging each other. Ways you think, the ways that you do things, that you pick up after you eat, and all that kind of shit, right? You need adjustment. I went deep on this, huh? So that's what it is with your artwork. I hear artists all the time tell me, I don't have that thing that you're talking about. And I'm like, I am pretty sure you haven't painted enough. I am almost 100% sure you haven't created enough artwork. That's why you don't have a personal bias against yourself. And if you do, maybe you're one of the million who are blessed. And I am wrong. You're right. You love your work. You love everything you create. And you're blessed, you know. Go and rise. Be fruitful, multiply. But most people don't have that. Most people are not like that. Most people don't like their work because you keep comparing yourself to past work, ideas of your work in your mind, or other people's work, and so there's a bias. You create a bias against your own work because there's so much story and history, especially if you've been painting for many years, and if you've been painting a lot. You've created ideas in your mind of, man, I remember when I used to really paint really well, or I've been painting horrible, and you haven't been painting horrible. It's just your mind is fixed on an idea of how you should be painting. And so your mind keeps fucking with you. I talk about some very deep stuff here, guys. Those of you who are brave enough, enter and hang out with me, because I talk about some deep shit here. Very deep. What's up? I'm gonna start saying hi. Hey guys, those of you who are listening and you're agreeing or disagreeing, I want to hear from you. Don't just I want to hear I want engagement. Okay? I'm gonna be honest. I want engagement. I know that I'm on the road and I'm not looking at this, but when I stop, I look at it. Right now I'm stopping at a store and I'm gonna look at it. Right now I'm in a red light. And that's why I'm able to be like, what's up? But I need engagement. I need to know how you're vibing. Is this something? Am I just throwing this shit out there and no one's really agreeing or disagreeing with it? I need to know if you disagree with it or you agree with it or it's happened to you. I need engagement, because engagement is what's going to keep me doing this. If you appreciate the value that I'm sharing here, you need to engage with me. Otherwise, I'm going to feel like, oh man, like this is not working, so I'm not going to be throwing this content. And if you're getting value from this content, you need to help me. You need to help me so that I can feel like, okay, there's people that are getting value out of this, so I need to continue to do it. Something like that. Yeah. But that's very much the way I go about this when it comes to painting. That was a great question, by the way. Whoever asked that question right now, I think it was I don't know. I can't read right now. When I read, I'll say the name. And it's a good day out right now. It's a little overcast. It rained a little earlier. I'm going to prepare my day for tomorrow. I'm going to buy some couple of art supplies here that I need. And I'm going to prepare my day for tomorrow. I'm going to prepare my day for tomorrow. Because Monday, baby. Monday. Oh, Monday. Monday is going to be uno bueno busy Monday. Mucho bueno, mucho busy on Monday. I love my Mondays. Mondays are mucho busyness. I like them. Oh, Monday. Da, 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 da. The art supply is going to close in 30 minutes. And I'm so glad I made it just in time. Artney Pants says, Artney Pat, I agree, you really know what you're talking about. Thanks so much. What's up, Corbelic? Ellen says, I love what you're saying, and today you really touch sensitive stuff. I really do. I apologize. I didn't want to hurt anyone's feelings. If I do, I am so sorry. How's it going?
Hey, Jose.
What's up, Paning?
What's going on, man?
Not much. Where am I at?
Arizona Art Supply.
Okay. Where?
Arizona Art Supply.
Nice. Well, what's good? What's good here?
Art supplies.
Yeah. Hey, where can they find you?
4343 North Oracle, south of Wetmore, on the west side of.
Nice. Well, where can they find you? Are you on Instagram? You personally, you.
Oh yeah, d.villarreal.art. That's it.
Nice. How's it going,
I was
man?
about to say .com. That's why.
I like that. Yeah. Throw the .com in there too.
Hey, check this out.
Corbelic, you got here late, man. What's going on? I've been talking about all kinds of stuff. Thank you so much, Elaine. Victoria says, this nugget I got today was not to wait on people. Yeah. Thank you so much. Yeah, don't wait on people. Don't wait on people. People are going to do themselves. They're going to do them. People are going to only do them. And that's okay. They should do them. You know, they should just do themselves. It's okay. But you need to do that also for yourself, for your family, for your business, for yourself. Getting some paint here. Let me show you the colors. Because some of you are asking me what kind of colors do I use. So look, Phthalo blue. First of all, I use Winter. They're about, some of them are 14, some are 31. I usually use the ones that are 15 bucks. These are about 15 bucks. Every now and then I get fancy. Nice. Party. You had a party going on. Party tonight. Party tonight. Here, soft mixing white is what I like to get to. Let's get some of that soft mixing white. Got 2, 3, just to get me ready for tomorrow. For tomorrow, baby. We got 4 of those. Let's take the 5th one. Let's take the 5th one. 5. And then, yeah, let's take a lamp black. Why not? We're already here. So, those of you who want to know what my palette looks like, this is what my palette looks like. So, it's cad yellow, pale hue. Okay, it's a very good cad yellow. And then I got some cad red, deep hue. Mexican wedding, nice. That was probably a nice wedding. Let's see. Victoria says, "Hi. When do you see? When they see you coming, they know they have to put an order in stock." Yeah. Yeah. When they see me coming, they're like, "Ah, here comes trouble. Here comes this dude again." I gotta take one of these ones just for tomorrow, because I usually order this stuff online. Sorry guys, I do order this stuff online, and when I run out of it, I have to come and grab as much as I can. Here, how's it going?
Good, man. How are you?
Very good, thank you. Yeah, I am going to be showing my palette in my studio. I use a tempered glass palette. Just very much like a desk, something like this. Look, something like this. But I got mine from Amazon. I'm not saying don't buy this one. Go ahead and buy this one if you want to. But I got mine from Amazon, and it was about 200 bucks, or maybe less. Oh, less. I'm gonna put that together so that for those of you who want to have my setup, my oil setup, you can go and buy it. I need a couple of brushes, and then we're set. We're done.
You want me to start right now with your paints?
Please do.
How you doing today?
Very good.
See your streaming, so I'll leave it be.
No, you're good. You're good. So these are the brushes that I like to use, guys. Check them out. These are the Simply Simmons. Simply Simmons. Let's see. There you go. My favorite one is a flat number 10. Okay. Look. Screen grab it if you can. For those of you who are like, dude, I want those brushes. They're not expensive. They're about $3, $4, $4. I remember when they used to cost like $2.49.
Really? When was that?
I've been painting for over 20 years, so it's been a while.
Has your famous been around that long?
I don't know if they have been, but I bought them very cheap a few years back.
Interesting.
Yeah. Or a version of this, but I think it was this one's.
No, it might have been the same company, and then they switched the name.
They switched the name. Yeah, they're good at. Yeah, they're smart that way. These are the ones that I like to use. Check it out. This round brush too. Number 4, Simply Simmons. So my go-to with brushes are this ones. This number 10, number 4, and I get another one, but I'll show you right now because I do need another one. Where is it? It's this brand right here. It's not very expensive. It's not very expensive. This is another one that I like to get. This one right here. And I say it's not too expensive because I burn through this ones. I literally burn through this little bastards very fast. It takes me about 2 days to burn through a brush like this. If I'm painting, if I'm really painting, so I burn through them very quick. So that's why I don't buy them so expensive and not so cheap, so that they actually get the job done, but not too expensive either, because I'm gonna burn through them. This is a number 12. Look, I think this is about $10. So it is an investment, right? But it's worth it. It's worth it. The other ones I like also are, these ones are really nice too. But these are a lot more expensive. These ones are nice. Anyways, I'll do a rundown of what I buy, guys. That way you guys can have, those of you who are interested in that deal. Look at my beautiful face. Mucho handsome. Okay, look at this one. I am ready. Mucho ready.
Alrighty, everybody is on sale, so your total after tax is going to be $263.91.
Boom.
Okay, yeah, go ahead.
Oh, it's like a supermarket of art supplies. Look, I'm going to give them a commercial here, and they're still not going to give me a discount.
Hello.
Check it out.
Already getting one. Everything's on sale, Jose.
I get everyone's discount. I don't get Jose's special discount yet. But one day I will.
One day when you become a famous artist.
When I become a famous artist, I'm going to get Jose's special discount. Look at this.
I'm just playing, you're already a famous artist.
I'm not famous. I want to be, though, because those guys get paid a lot.
Arizona Arts.
Jose, I need your PIN number.
Oh. Thank you.
I don't think you want to put that on.
Yeah, no, I don't think so. My wife wouldn't like that. That's her fun card.
Yeah, you be careful with that screen, man.
Yeah. I like to support local businesses.
Somebody did that by accident one time. They put their personal information on.
Yeah? On a live?
Yeah.
On a live, you can't get it back.
Yeah.
It's gone.
It was like a PayPal account or something.
Oh, really? Yeah, that
And
was...
it was
So
on the live.
funny.
That's
Alright,
extremely
here's
smart.
your receipt.
Thank you so much.
Great.
Thank you so much, guys. All of
Thank
you.
you, as
Or y'all.
always.
I'm learning how to say y'all.
Where are you getting that slang from? Y'all.
No, because we're all different
South,
people. No,
we're-
no, no. It's all different people. So
You can't
different.
be in the Southwest and not say y'all.
No. I'm talking about the different genders. You know, non-binary. Binary.
Oh.
So I'm learning how to say y'all.
Oh, look at that. Good for you, man.
Yeah.
Oh, and don't forget your walnut oil.
Thank you, human.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you, artist.
I learned that from these guys.
Fantastic.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
This is not
You
yours.
are awesome.
No, you're awesome. Thanks for coming in. We always appreciate you coming in the store.
Cool. Thank
And
you.
your people are lucky to have the opportunity to pick your brain for.
You're 30,000 plus.
Oh, I love that.
Seriously, though. Fantastic.
You
You
want-
guys
you
are,
want-
yeah, you guys are very lucky to have a good mentor here. Take
Oh, I love
take
that.
advantage of what information he has to offer. That's fantastic.
Boom. Came from someone else. I only paid them a couple of $100 to say that. Oh, sorry. Thank you so much. Take care. All right. You can see you too. All right. Let's see. In the Philippines, yeah, we don't. I don't know. I'm sorry that look. That's the supply store that I go to. Does walnut oil work as speed drying medium? No, walnut oil, I'm going to be honest with you, walnut oil actually takes longer to dry. The walnut oil is a freaking problem. Okay? Walnut oil is a freaking problem when it comes to dry time. It doesn't speed up the process. I wish it did. It's quite the opposite. The advantage that I have is that I am in a place I'm in Arizona, so Arizona is a desert here in the States. In the United States, it's a desert, and so I have the advantage that the heat and the wind here help me dry the paintings very quick. I have a drying, basically a shed, but I converted it into a drying room. I bought that shed in a Home Depot, and they have it. They install it for you and everything. It cost me about $2,000. But then I had to install fans and commercial fans. These are not your regular fans. These are fans that you put to dry floors, carpets when there's a flood or something like that. They throw very strong air, and so that circulates in there and it dries them. I'm sharing with you guys part of my secrets here because I feel generous. It's not really a secret, but if you haven't been in the game long enough and you don't create work at that level, you think it's a secret. That's how I do it. But at the end of the day, what really matters is that you do the work. That's all. At the end of the day, what matters is just do the work, and you're gonna be all right. Where most of us get sidetracked and things don't work for us is because we're not willing to do the work. I'm saying the honest truth here. Most of us don't want to do the work, including myself, and we're looking for ways out of the work. Ways out of the work are, when am I going to be famous? When am I going to have a lot of people following me on Instagram or YouTube or whatever? When are my paintings going to cost more? When are they going to go up in value? What can I do so that I don't have to put in the work, so that I get the reward now? And that is, it's a rabbit hole that I wish no one would jump into, but most of us, I think all of us jump in there, and then you have to learn how to dig yourself out of that hole, how to get out of that. Because if you just do the work, you're fine. You're gonna be just fine. Most people don't want to do the work. You know, and when I mean do the work, I'm talking about, yes, do the work. Like if you want followers on Instagram, you want to make sure you engage with them. You want to make sure that you post regularly. You want to make sure that you send out DMs. You respond to people. You put videos and on and on and on and on. And that takes time. It takes energy. And if you want it now, it's not going to happen. But you can get the ball rolling. You know. And it's the same thing with your painting. If you want your paintings to cost more, to be more valuable, and on and on and on, well, then what you need to do is you need to put them in places that people are going to pay you more for them. But that means that you're going to have to do that a lot, not just once or twice every now and then. You know, you're going to have to do that a lot. What does that mean? That means more exhibits. That means more hoity-toity places. I don't know, more hoity-toity. That means more fancy places, right? You can't put your stuff on eBay. You got to go put your stuff on Saatchi Art or artsy.com or high-end galleries in your city. That's what that means, and you have to do that. You have to do that a lot. You can't do that. Look, guys, one of the reasons I don't stop doing eBay, a lot of people tell me, why don't you stop doing eBay, or why don't you stop, like selling your work through Instagram or YouTube, and that, why don't you just go to the galleries and just do that, because you get more money. One of the reasons I don't just do one thing is because when I started, all I realized was that I just had to work a little harder and a little faster than everyone else, right? A little harder, a little faster, and not a lot, just a little bit more. You'll be surprised the amount of work you can do if you just lock yourself for a couple more hours or whatever. You do a lot more work. But if you don't see why you need to do that work, you're not going to do it. I often tell my friends, and I've talked about this with my wife, if a person cannot see upward mobility, they won't put in the extra work. Upward mobility anywhere, in your career or, whatever, or in your relationship. If you can't see upward mobility, you're not going to want to put the extra work. We have to project, right? We have to project. And the sad thing is that oftentimes you can't see it. Oftentimes you can't see it. It's like a car that's driving in the middle of the night, and you're trying to get from Arizona to, I don't know, California or whatever, pick your states, and the car only shoots out, your lights only shoot out 200 feet of light. Unless you keep moving the tires, unless you keep driving forward, you won't get there, because you're going to be afraid, because the light is too short. Does this make sense? The light is too short, just 200 feet. You can't see the end of your destination with only 200 feet. And you can't see it. You can't see it. There's no way. Like, okay, I'm going to get from here to there, but I can't see how. That's why maps were so important, because people could see the end of the destination. But let's say you're driving and there's no maps, and then people just tell you, just go straight for, 50 miles. But where? Or 20 miles or whatever. But where? Just straight. You just keep going straight. But I can't see over those mountains, behind those mountains, past that city. Where? No, you can't see. The only way you're going to see is if you keep driving. The driving of it is what allows you to see it. And that's why I said, if you do the work, you're going to be fine. Because the work is the driving of it. That's what the work is. You put in the work, it's like you're just driving. And eventually, you're going to start seeing the signs and where to turn, where to go. But you have to drive. If you don't drive, you can't see shit. You're not going to be able to see it. So, one of the things that I was talking about earlier also, again, was the hurdles or the hoops that you have to jump through. And one of the hoops that I had to jump through was a very difficult one. It was the hoop of understanding that I am good enough. That you don't need to get better necessarily. If you're starting, you sure as hell need to get better. Okay, if you're starting, if you just started painting, you do need to get better. So don't kid yourself. Don't tell yourself, "Oh, Jose told me not to." No, you do need to learn how to paint and do your thing, whatever that is. Whether it's expressionism or realism, you do need to learn your ABCs. But once you got started and once you know that, usually takes you no more than a couple of years. You need to start understanding that getting better is not getting paid more. Doing more is getting paid more. It's not about getting better anymore. And what I think most artists, I would suggest 99% of artists out there think that they have to get better at it in order to get paid more. And they can be further from the truth. And that's why I come in here and I keep telling people, just show up. Hey, just show up. No one's paying me for this, guys. And I'm not Mother Teresa either, okay? I help people, but I also sell stuff, right? I'm coming out with a whole collection of workshops for those of you who are interested in workshops about the various topics that I talk about. But I've given a lot of free material over the years, and again, no one paid me for that. I just wanted to share what I knew, and I thought if it helped me, maybe it can help another artist out there. Maybe someone else has the same challenge. I don't know. And it turned out that a lot of people have the same challenge, and people have been asking me for workshops or help. I started offering some help. Some people are okay with me coaching them one-on-one over the phone. Some people don't want that. They just don't. It's just not their gig. It's not their thing. I can't force them to do it. Some people just like, hey, do you have a video for that? Some people want me to share articles with them. I write articles. I'm a shitty writer. I can't write for shit. But the content is there, and people like the content. You know, they want the content. They value the content, and so it's not the way I put it together. It's the content they're receiving, right? And so now, again, you know, I'm not Mother Teresa. I'm not out to help the world. You know, maybe I am doing it. I don't know, but that's not my role. My role is, hey, if someone else needs this, awesome, cool. Is there a way at some point that someone wants more help, much more help than what I'm giving out for free? And some people raise their hand and say, you know what, dude, why don't you help me more? Cool. I'm coming out with workshops. I can help you furthermore. Some people want to learn how to make a few bucks selling artwork. I've been there. Some people want to learn how to make a few $1,000. Been there. Some people want to learn how to make 20K in a month. Been there. Some people want to learn how to make more than that. 40, 50, 60. I've been there selling artwork. And if I can help someone along the way, I mean, I don't know any other artist who's doing this. I know there's some artists who are doing this, but I can't really trust them because I don't see them painting. I don't see them creating artwork. So I don't know if they're just marketers. You know, and so I don't feel like I can go to them and be like, hey, because I'm all about learning from people, but if I don't see them doing what I'm like if you're a singer, right, and you want to teach someone the career, I would hope that you were Celine Dion, or I would hope that you have a professional career, at least, as a singer, and maybe you can help me get that going. But if you've never sang before, or if you sing on the weekends, but you're not really, you haven't have bottles thrown at you in a bar, and you haven't gone through that, it's kind of hard for me to like trust you because you haven't paid your dues. So I'm not really sure if I can learn from you. You know, that's my deal with a lot of the so-called art marketers out there, that I think that they're more marketers than artists. I don't see them creating artwork. Now, you may not like my artwork, but I create a shitload of art. And so that makes me an artist, whether you like me or not. Whether you like my work or not, I create artwork on a daily basis. And I do it probably much more than 99% of you watching. And the reason why I do it is because I pushed myself to get to a very uncomfortable situation. I got to such an uncomfortable situation where I was like, I need to do this every day. And part of it was luck too. I'm not going to say that, oh my God, I'm a badass. No, part of it was luck. Part of it was, there was a lot of luck involved in it. And luck because I have my health. Luck because I am still fairly young, and I was fairly young when I started, and I didn't have a lot of children. A lot of people have children, and all, you know, I had one child, and I had a daytime job. Some people don't have a job, and because of health issues or, you know, some other things, some emotional challenges, mental challenges, whatever. You know, there's so many things involved. So I will say, yes, there was luck involved in it. There was grace, let's call it that, right? Like some people say, by the grace of God, you know, that type of deal. You know, there was favor. That's the word I was looking for. There was favor. And there were also challenges. There were also lots of challenges along the way. There still are lots of challenges along the way. I'm in a place right now where I'm hiring assistants, and that's very challenging. I've never been in a situation where I need to hire assistants, and now I'm in that place. I've been there for almost 2 years now, hiring assistants, and that's multiple assistants and virtual assistants online, and that's it's challenging. I never had to manage anybody. I'm not a manager. I don't know shit about managing. My wife knows, but I'm learning all these things. Every day there's something, oh, I can't show up to work today because I have a cough. You know, I didn't grow up like that. I grew up that if I wasn't, like, spilling my guts, then that meant I could still go to work. unless I'm spilling my guts, I can't show. And even then, I go and show up to work and spill my guts at work. I grew up like that, and a lot of people don't think like that. So for me, it's challenging. Like, what do you mean you can't work today because you feel a little sad? Oh shit. Growing up, I didn't have that. I couldn't, stuff like that now, not just now, but maybe because of my immigrant background. I'm an immigrant. I'm not first generation. I am the immigrant. My kid is first generation, but my ass is the immigrant. And so I don't have those things, those ideas of, I don't feel like working today, or I saw a sad movie and now I'm a little sad and I need some time for myself. I'm not going to show up to work. People have those things. And I respect it. I don't understand it, and I'm learning to understand those things. But it's challenging for me. Those things are challenging. Or not pushing a little harder, not pushing a little more, not staying longer than my paid hours. I'm not saying working for free. I'm saying not staying longer. Like if I see that my boss, me growing up, if I saw that my boss had a lot of work to do still, and it was my time to go, I would go talk to my boss and I would tell him, I used to be a carpenter. I used to do remodeling and construction and remodeling. And I used to tell my boss, hey, I'm staying. And my boss used to tell me, hey, I can't pay you double. I'd be like, you don't have to pay me double. I'm staying. I'm staying with you. I'm staying. Let's finish this. You're not going to pay me. You don't have to pay me more. But to me, that was important because the work was important for me. And not everybody sees it the same way. So for me, because I'm not a manager, those things are challenging for me. If I have a lot of work and I have 3-4 assistants and then none of them can stay and help me finish, to me that's like, wait a minute, how come you can't stay? So well, because my shift is over. And I'm like, yeah, but stay another hour. No, I can't. My shift is over. For me, that's hard to understand. For me, that's very challenging to understand. Let's see. Let me read some of this stuff. Now you guys are finding out more about my mental, my inner workings. Let me read some of these comments. Elaine says, do you think that it's good to upload in social media every single painting? I think every single painting multiple times a day on different places. So maybe you can't upload the same painting on Instagram twice, but you can upload the painting on the Instagram wall, on the Instagram stories, and on the Instagram live. You can talk about your painting. And so that's 3 different, and maybe you can DM someone your painting and tell them, what do you think about this painting? Whatever, just make sure to bring more value than that which you're asking. Make sure to bring more value. So for example, every now and then you'll see me being like, hey, I just finished this painting, check it out. And people are like, oh, that's cool, nice painting. But I will also not just try to sell my paintings, but try to share articles, try to share insights, try to share value with people, not just come buy my stuff, right? So this is why I do this lives, because these lives are not about me, hey, buy my stuff, buy my stuff. It's like, okay, how can I give more value than that which I'm asking for? Corbellic says, what do you think about selling smaller paintings outside galleries or events? I think that's a great idea. I think small work sells very well, especially if you price it correctly. It sells like hotcakes in the right situation with the right clientele, right? You have to test, right? There's a lot of testing going on. This video is about to be over, but let me read Jay's. I'm going to start another one, guys, because that's just how I do it. Even I upload every single day and selling more, it just depends on the strategy. Yeah, and strategy. I love that. Thanks so much, Jay. Hey,